Hey there, it's Stephanie Shea, Chief Astrologer for janspiller.com with your monthly horoscope, and this one's for you, Aquarius. As we come into November, the sun is shining in Scorpio through the 20th, and the Scorpio sun forms a challenging square to your sun in Aquarius. So this means you're going to need to tune in to some of the subtle energies, especially in the workplace, and do your best to avoid power struggles. Okay, a lot of times when there's energy squaring your sun, it has to do with external influences that challenge you. And in this case, it may be challenging you to stick to your truth, to your integrity. Both Mars and Mercury will be retrograde as the month begins, and that makes November a good month to reconnect with people from your past. Now, during the second half of the month, both these planets will be direct. That will be better time to forge new personal and professional connections. So Mercury stations direct at 25 degrees of Libra on November 3rd. Now this Libra Mercury forms a supportive trine to your sun. If you were born on or around February 14th of any year, or if you have around 14 degrees of Aquarius rising, you'll probably feel the biggest shift around the date of Mercury's station direct. So you can wait until after November 3rd to initiate important collaborations or communications. It's going to flow a lot easier after that time. Just keep in mind that we're going to be in the shadow phase of this Mercury retrograde cycle until November 20th. It's going to be important to double check your information, processes, and plans. Confirm appointments and take the time to make sure you have understood what others are saying. Avoid making assumptions. So that's some tips for the shadow phase, which really means Mercury is on its way to returning to the point where it was when it first stationed direct. It's going to get itself back into Scorpio. So on November 13th, Mars will station direct at 15 degrees of Aries, ending a cycle that began on September the 9th. It's possible that the past few months have brought you some frustrations when it comes to the logistics of your day-to-day life. Mars has to do with how we take action when it's retrograde, and it is in a part of your chart that has to do with the way you're running your schedule. This can make for some things feeling stuck in the mud. Once Mars stations direct, you're going to have more support to initiate action, and you're apt to feel more in the flow. If you've been waiting to reach out to an important contact or get the ball rolling on a new project, definitely the second half of the month is the time. Consider the beliefs that you have been contemplating recently and how you can put them into positive action. That's a theme of this Mars and Aries for you. Now, November 15th is our new moon. It's at 23 degrees of Scorpio. This is going to be an especially good new moon for Aquarians to set your intentions regarding career, your public image, business agreements, intimate relationships, and any type of long-term strategy. It's a good one. If you're not already a member of janspiller.com, I encourage you to head over to the website and sign up. You can gain access to the most powerful time to set your new moon intentions, which really does make a difference. And I hope that you can use these new moon cycles to manifest what you want in your life. Now, the sun is going to ingress into Sagittarius on the 21st, and this will really encourage networking and your social connections. Use the end of the month to team up with others for a worthy cause. A lot of the Sagittarius sun and the way it's working with Aquarians in particular is really about uplifting others, helping people feel a sense of hope when maybe it's just felt like a hard time. You're going to have the ability to help others in this way, and you might gain some support for one of your big picture visions. Now, November 30th is our full moon. It's combined with a lunar eclipse at 8 degrees of Gemini. This forms a favorable trine to your sun. So a lot of times people hear about lunar eclipses, they immediately think drama and trouble. That's not always how they play out. And I think especially if they're at a favorable aspect to your sun or rising sign, they may take more of the form of showing something coming to fruition that you've been working on. So if you were born on or around January 28th of any year, or you have around 8 degrees Aquarius rising, this lunar eclipse is going to be quite personal for you. You're slated for an important realization that might cause you to rethink a current plan, and that's okay. Don't get stuck to the plan. It's all about seeing what's before you and getting a bit creative if you realize that it's not exactly what you thought it was. Aquarians are really good at coming up with clever solutions. That might be highlighted for you around this eclipse. Make a research and fact-gathering focus and avoid getting pulled into emotional dramas. Like I said, some people are not having as much of a favorable relationship with this lunar eclipse. That means those around you may be feeling extra dramatic. It's okay to take a step back, and you can always revisit conversations a few days after the full moon, and it usually feels a lot more grounded. So I hope you can make the most of this month's astrology. Be safe and be well, and I'll see you back here next month with your horoscope.